All right.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome again. Today, we are talking about where do you put your money? And you know that we're focusing on TFSA today. Glenn, glad to have you join in.
Great to be back, Genese. Thank you.
Great. And for our viewers who are watching for the first time, Glenn is a financial advisor as well as an authorized infinite banking practitioner who offers a customized service to help you more efficient in your financial life. All right. So this is actually our second talk in the series on where do you put your money? And Glenn, I want to ask you a few questions today as it relates to TFSA. All right. So my first question for you, what is TFSA?
TFSA. Okay, so in 2009, the government came out with this program called the TFSA, or Tax-Free Savings Account. The name's been damaging to the effectiveness of it. What they should have called it was a tax-free account, but that savings has a lot of people who still are just using it as a savings account. Now, you can do that, but it's not being as efficient, right? So with the tax-free account, what they've allowed you to do, they started off with $5,000 a year. It's supposed to be indexed, went up to 55. 1 year, a government had it at 10,000, but now it's at 6,000 per year. So cumulatively from 2009, if you're an adult then, right up to this point, you would have had $81,500 worth of room you can put in, right? So what is the tax-free savings? I guess I explained a little more than that.
That's
the tax-free savings account allows you to save, which we don't really want you to do as much. We really want you to invest in this account. And any gains, let me repeat that, any gains will be tax-free, right? So that is huge, huge thing.
Perfect. So I guess that will probably get into my next question. Because my next question for you are what are some of the benefits? So you've told me that one of the benefits is tax-free. So can you tell me some more benefits of having a TFSA?
Sure. So we've got that right now we're at 6,000 a year you can add it, right? As I said, 81,500 cumulatively. So we talked about the RSP last week. We talked about you can put money and get a deduction. You don't get that for the TFSA, but it actually, I think, works out better. Now with the tax-free savings, let's say you were maximizing it, right? Let's say you're maximizing it and you had 81,500 in your TFSA right now. Well, unlike the RSP, if you decided to withdraw 80,000, how much do you pay for taxes? Actually, let's back it up a little bit. Let's say you put 81,500 and it's now worth 105,000. And you go to take out 100,000, you gain $20,000+. If you go to take out 100,000, how much do you pay for taxes? Zero. That is what it was made for, is for any gains that you get within that become no taxes, no matter how much it goes up within that. So it's a great tool. And the more time that goes by, people are going to realize just how effective it is, right? Now, here's another huge plus that people don't realize. You can artificially increase your limit. What do I mean by that? Well, if you cashed out 100,000 this year, you get that room back next year. So along with next year's 6,000, we'll say, you get the 100,000 room that you cashed out this year, and you'd have a limit of 106,000, even though technically somebody who would have been at 81,500 plus 6,000 would only be at 87,000, right? Because you cashed out at a profit, you get to carry forward that room and it all remains tax-free within that program. So it is a huge, huge advantage to have this program.
That's good. I like that. And I'm sure a lot of persons like to hear that too, right? And so I'd like to know how, pardon me?
It comes as a surprise sometimes.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So how much can you take out of your TFSA, Glenn?
Oh, that's the beauty of it. You can take out all of it if you want. No tax consequences, right? You can take out whatever you want. You know, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000 if you've got that. You know, I know one colleague who he got his up to a couple 100,000. And he just bought a couple of stocks in there and they did really, really well. So he purposefully cashed out so he would have that higher room now, because if he
Right.
kept it and the value dropped, then his room limit is basically whatever your dollars are, right? He sold it, so he's locked in that limit. And yeah, he's just using the parameters of the program to maximize his savings. And that's one of the huge pluses you get from talking to someone like myself, who really understands how that program works and how you can use it to benefit your family and yourself.
Nice. Okay, well, good to know again, right? But before I get into my next question, I'd like to remind our viewers, if they haven't done so already, just to take a second to hit that red subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you can be the first to be notified of any new uploads that we have. So Glenn, once you have removed your TFSA, do you need to repay it back?
No, your tax-free savings is basically there for you to use how you want. The room will continue, right? If you've taken it out this year, it gets added back to next year's limit. But if, just like an RSP, if you never want to use your limit, you never have to. So there's no need to pay that because it's not a loan, you're actually using the funds. So I guess that could be one bit of a drawback. If you are going to use the funds, then if they were doing really well, you no longer have that opportunity, but you get to access them tax-free. And Genese, that becomes a really big deal later on in life, especially when we get into those retirement ages, like age 71, 72. For those who've got the money in the RRSP, it's got to come out. Now let's look at it this way. Your RSPs are going to have to be RIFT, taxable. Your old age security, taxable. Your Canada pension, taxable. And if you have a regular pension as well from a job, if you're one of the fortunate ones, taxable. Well, guess what? If you've got your tax-free savings and you turn it in an income stream, I don't care if you're taking $5,000 a year out or $50,000 a year out. Not taxable, does not count toward your taxes, does not count toward reducing your old age security if your net income starts creeping up, because it doesn't count to net income. So it's great for now, and it's going to be really great for later.
Perfect. Right. So I hope people are listening to that. And as I'm thinking, I just want to remind everyone too that we did the RSP, we did the TFSA, and for sure next week we're definitely going to be talking about insurance, which is going to be really fun to discuss. You're going to find out things that you've never thought about before. All right. So Glenn, anything else that you want to add into TFSA that we've missed out?
Listen, it's a fantastic tool. It's that do anything. What do I need the money out for? As I said before, the RSP, you can get it out technically as a tax-free loan if you're doing a home buyer's plan or for education. The TFSA doesn't have any such restriction. You want to take it out, you take it out. You want to take out all of it, you take out all of it. Does not impact your taxation. So it is really the type of tool that allows you to do so many things. You can save some of your emergency fund there, save or invest and have some emergency fund there. You can have, funds earmarked for retirement, funds earmarked for that vehicle, for that project, whatever it may be, right? It is a very flexible tool for Canadians to use, and more starting to discover just what a gem it is, and they're starting to use it better.
So what are some of the common reasons you're finding that most of your clients are really turning to their TFSA for help, and they were cashing out their TFSA? What are some of the common reasons you're finding people are doing that for?
Initially it was just like they use it like a savings account. They put in, take out, put in, take out. Here's one important thing. Depending on how much you withdraw within a year and try to put back, you could be in an over-contribution state. So you got to be careful of that. So in the example I use, let's say this person took out the 100 grand, whatever, all right? Or even if they never made a penny, they kept it in an actual savings account. Not the most efficient way to go, but some people do. And they cashed out 80,000. Say they cash it out this month. And next month they go, you know what? I want to put back 30,000. Well, because your limit's that 81.5, right? If you go put 30 in, you would have over contributed. You will have to wait until next year to get that carry forward room. So you have to keep track of how many times you're going in and out up to, especially if you're close to your limit. Because if you're over contributing, then the government has a 1% penalty per month for the overcontribution,
Okay.
right? And you want to avoid that. So outside of that, though, use it for whatever. I've had clients use it toward down payments, buying vehicles, vacations, emergency fund, you name it. And some are putting the money back because now they're thinking this will be a good retirement tool, and it is. And I've discussed, especially when I talked about all the other incomes that we just talked about being taxable, and that this can be set up to be a non-taxable source of income at that time of life, right? So variety of reasons.
Okay, nice. So, I mean, I just want to encourage our viewers. I mean, if we have forgotten anything that you're asking that question, I did not mention that to Glenn, please feel free to type in the comments. If you have additional questions, type in the comments below, and I'll get Glenn to respond to you and just answer these comments, because I'm sure that I have not covered all the concerns, right? So if there's something that I've forgotten, just feel free to put in the comments below. And remember to give us a thumbs up if you found this information quite useful. And that's all for today for you now. So we will see you in the next video.
We'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye for now.